Hi, good morning. My name's Paul and welcome to Advanced PLC Programming. The course number is ELET B58. Alright, so probably one thing that you're wondering is how are we going to do Advanced PLC training if we can't go into the lab? And this course is completely online this semester. So how are we going to do it? Well, let's take a look at what we normally would use in the lab and how we're going to do it when we're doing it online. If you look at my screen here, I've got three things showing. This is Studio 5000. This is the program we use to program the PLCs. Then over here in the top, I've got a ControlLogix PLC. That's the one in the lab, mounted up on the wall. And also in the lab we have these trainers on the lab tables. And what we do is we write our program in Studio 5000 and we download that program to the PLC. And then we use the trainers to turn on motors, turn on lights. We simulate a traffic control system. We do all that hands-on training. Now, we can't go in the lab, so obviously we can't be pushing these buttons and watching things go on and off. So here's how we're doing it when we're in the virtual environment. Let me get rid of these two guys. We've got a couple components we're using, and it's all software. Down here, this is called Emulate, and what it is a virtual PLC. And over here in slot number 2 is our controller. When we write our program in Studio 5000, the exact same software, instead of downloading to the PLC, we're going to download it to this virtual PLC. So that program lives, when it's downloaded, it lives right here in this virtual controller. Then what we do is we connect to this virtual PLC with Factoryio, and I've got that running up here in the top corner. In Factoryio we've developed some trainers very similar to the trainers that we use in the lab. We've got lights and buttons and counters, and we've got motors on these conveyors. So we've got all the same or similar components that we have in the lab. And let's take a look at how this works. I'm online right now, and you see here in my logic I've got reset 1 and reset 2, and that's parallel logic. So either one of those buttons should be able to turn on the stack yellow, the stack light yellow. So if I push that guy, my light goes on, and if you notice over here in the logic, when I push it, you can see it go hot. And then down here, let's see, start 1, that's a seal-in logic. That should turn on a green light and stay on until I hit the stop button. So start 1, that's that guy. That turned on that light. You notice that it's sealed in the logic. Here's my output to that light, and when I push the stop button, it'll break the seal. The light goes off. So everything we do in the virtual environment is the same as what we do when we're in the lab. That part of it is really no different. And when you think about it, when you get out into industry, PLCs are installed where the equipment is. So it might be, say if you're working in the oil industry, the PLC might be way out in the oil patch somewhere. The engineers don't live and work out in the oil patch, they work out of their offices, and they develop their programs in the lab in their office, and then when it's ready they go out and install it in the PLC. So in the real world, engineers and technicians are working with virtual environments, and that's just what we're doing here. Okay, next question is how do we do this? Now currently the way we're doing it is each student is downloading and installing the software on their own computer. And it's kind of a big software, so it takes actually a couple hours to download and install. So it's a big undertaking. And some people don't have a computer that's suitable for it. It has to be a Windows computer. Apple doesn't work. The school does have loaner laptops available, so if you're worried that your laptop or your home computer is not maybe powerful enough, or you don't have enough hard drive to do this, don't worry about that, because the school has computers and they'll hook you up with something to use. Okay, so it's a real neat environment, and I think you're going to like it, and I look forward to meeting you when the semester starts. Talk to you soon.